Yeah, yeah. Making her way to the mic. They start dimming the lights. You start feeling alright. From Birmingham, home of the Teddy Longs and the Ruben Studders. More once you discover. For all of the lovers, Whitney Houston and Roman Reigns. For all of the lovers, and Mickey James and Marvin Gaye. For all of the lovers, and Sasha Banks, Janelle Monáe, Silk, Sonic, and Paige. Allow me to say, look, I just found a place, sweet escape for every one of us. I was kinda late, cause I just made it off the struggle bus. Walking by the fate, cause I know it's right in front of us. Yo, I ain't with the hate, gotta focus on what's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Hardy is on the air. Had to
Hey, you guys, this is Stephanie of Steph and Kat Talk WOW, brought to you by the Hardy Wrestling Podcast and In Cat We Trust. And I am here and honored to be here for this Black History Month edition of an interview that we have for WOW Superheroes with one of the founding women of WOW. She is one half of the Bullybusters. She is an amazing trainer and just an all around inspirational story. She is Keta Rush. How are you, Keta?
Thank you, Stephanie. Beautiful intro. Thank you so much. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. It is such an honor to have you on, along with all of the other WoW superheroes. And then to have you on during this month in particular
Yeah,
is really an honor. So
powerful.
let me ask, so let me start by asking you, when did you fall in love with wrestling?
I fell in love with wrestling in 2011. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting year for me. That was the year I actually had to stop watching wrestling for a while because I was in college and I was getting ready to go.
Okay.
So I was literally like into wrestling at that point, had been into wrestling, but then I had to stop because school had to get started. But that love never went away. So it's really great to hear that that was when, you started falling in love with wrestling. So when did you know that this was what you wanted to do as a career and as a passion?
Once I knew it was something that could be a career for me, I had no idea when I got involved in wrestling that it was something that someone could do. When I first imagined it, I guess the thought of a wrestler was China for me. And I don't represent anything close to her. She's huge. I'm 5'3". I weigh 115 pounds. And so David McLean honestly was one of the first people with Glow Wrestling and with WOW that showed me so many different looks where I was like, oh, hmm. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. China is always an astounding influence, even to this day, when it comes to
Yeah.
wrestling. And the idea that you felt like maybe, there wasn't a place for you because that was sort of the standard. But then in finding out from David McLean, who is a pioneer in women's wrestling, that you do have a place even by being a smaller build, that's just really cool. Like there are some really iconic smaller wrestlers in history. So you did not, have to feel, left out in that sense, but I can understand that. So what other sports were you involved in during your growing up that prepared you for wrestling?
Track and basketball were my jam, and I did gymnastics for like 6 years. I was very fast. I am very fast. I ran the 400 all the way from age 7 to college, and basketball, just my hands. So I think putting my agility and my speed together with wrestling technique is where I get the name Keita Rush because there's a rush coming at you.
Definitely. And when you play all those sports and incorporate that into wrestling, there's a whole lot of speed involved, agility involved, and of course there's strength. And one thing that I do love in watching you wrestle is the fact that you are very technically sound. So even in watching you wrestle, you know how to tear apart your opponent piece by piece with your technical prowess. And that's something that I greatly appreciate. So as a person who is a trainer, how do you apply your wrestling knowledge to help training the fighters of the future?
Well, I would say the thing that helps me be able to pick someone apart is knowing jujitsu and knowing Muay Thai and fighting and competing in both of those sports. So when I'm in the ring, um, the mind is still the same. I'm able to, oh, okay, I kicked her once. Oh, she's limping on that leg. Let's keep going on that leg. Let's take her legs away. So I think the same way goes into fighting. And for the people of the future, being able to notice when you have made an injury or an impact and continuously staying on it so that you can take away that limb is something that I literally teach every day. And then I also walk the walk when I'm in the ring.
Absolutely. And a match that more recently we saw you utilize that mindset in was when you were in the trios tournament with the Mighty Mites with Sugar and Spice, and you guys were fighting your opponents there. Now, even though you did not get the upper hand, what was it like teaming with Sugar and Spice, and what do you see in their future as a WoW OG?
It was dope teaming with them because they're so good at lucha, and then all three of us are very spunky and fast. So working together and putting it together, and our opponents were all bigger. So it was cool to be able to use that as like our niche on how we, plan to win. We didn't get the W, but either way, it was still an entertaining match. And for their future, they're just going to keep going because they're great. They're great to work with. They've got great personalities, and they're good. They're good in the ring. So more praises to them.
Absolutely. And that trios tournament is getting more and more hectic and even more heated. So I can't wait to see what happens from there. But you guys did a phenomenal job. You did
Yeah.
a phenomenal job. And I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Thank you.
So as an African American athlete, with this being Black History Month, how does it feel for you to be a part of a growing class of Black women in wrestling that are just growing more and making more and more history?
It's incredible. It's an incredible platform, and I take it very seriously. I take being a role model very seriously, and being a Black woman in this sport is something that I know I have to be very true to myself, and I have to represent, and I have to advocate for myself. And it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I love also teaching other girls how to find that power within themselves. So being able to be a role model and being a Black woman in a sport that doesn't really have that many, feels very special, and I own it.
Yes, it's beautiful that you own it and that there have been so many people in history, or at least women in history, that have owned that part of themselves and wear it as a point of pride. So, if you could face any Black female wrestler from any era, who would it be and why?
Bianca Belair, and because she's amazing, and to just share the space in the ring with her would be amazing. And I feel like I can be like an actual weapon. I would turn my body into a weapon and just lunge it at her 1,000 times. That's what I
Yes,
would.
that would be a very athletic match because in between your body being a weapon and her using her body as a weapon as well, that would be a stellar and astounding match.
Yeah, that would
So
be.
I would be really excited to see that.
Thank you. Me too.
So, in your growth as a WoW superhero, we've seen and we've heard your story of how you've overcome bullying and overcome, feeling like having a lack of self-worth in a sense.
Yeah.
So, what is something that you are currently doing to feed into the next generation of those people who might feel like they're not enough in this society?
You know what? I think one of the most important things, and something that I am blessed to be able to do, is to show people where their power is. And I get to show them at a way younger age. So with my business, Team Bullybuster, I own a gym in Studio City. And we start at age 4. And I am literally teaching children at age 4, toddlers, where their power is, how to advocate for themselves, how to keep their hands up, how to move their feet if someone's trying to hurt them. Um, just everything at a younger age. I feel like I am a tremendous woman today, but it took a lot to get here. And if I could help any girl or person in this younger generation, I would want them to know how powerful they are at a younger age, how strong they are, how smart they are, and give them the skills and technique to be able to deal with the world. That's what I do every day, and it's what I would advise anyone to do if they wanted to help, is just show this generation where their power is way younger.
Absolutely. That resonates in a very deep place. So, since this iteration of WOW has started, you have been a part of it seemingly from the very beginning all the way up until now. What are some ways that WOW has evolved from when you first became a part of it to now?
When I first started, we weren't on television, and so that's a big deal. And we also did shows in Vegas, which was fun. Right now we are literally stationed in LA, and there wasn't as many girls. Now I feel like we got a not a big turnaround, but we're adding more superheroes a lot. And I would say everything got better for sure. The productions, the flow, the management, everything has just gotten better and better, little by little by little.
Absolutely. And it's something that me and Katrina love is the production of the show because it's definitely like eye catching. And then, of course, you have the colors and everything that pop out at you that are like in the purple and the pink of things. But at the same time, you're still going to get that great action. And I
Yeah,
really do appreciate that.
I agree.
So, yes. So to wrap up, we have seen so many people, go after different forms of gold in WoW. Of course, you have Abilene Maverick, who is the WoW World Champion. You also have Princess Aussie, who previously held the title. So, What is your goal in terms of reaching for that high achievement in WoW? There have been so many women coming after the WoW World title. What is your strategy and your motivation to go after it?
My goal is the gold, no pun intended. I would love the opportunity to be a contender for the championship belt. I think I have put in my legwork. I show up to training. I'm an amazing team player. I'm uplifting. I'm positive. I show up. I show up. I show up. I show up. And I want to be taken seriously. I want to be given that opportunity to go up against someone who's got the belt, and I would love the opportunity to take it from him because I feel like I've been putting in a good amount of legwork. So it's my time, and I hope Selena and David feel the same way and see it as well.
Absolutely. Well, Keta Rush, one half of the Bullybusters and WoW OG, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on Steph and Kat Talk WoW. It is such an honor to have you. Just tell everyone where they can find and follow you on social media and what you've got going on.
You can find Keta Rush, the Bullybuster, the golden child, on everything the Pretty Flower, Keta Rush, and Team Bullybuster on Instagram, Facebook, all of the platforms. Again, the Pretty Flower, Keta Rush, and Team Bullybuster.
Great. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us. And of
Stephanie.
course, you can follow me, your girl Stephanie Hardy, on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy, and follow Katrina at In Cat We Trust everywhere on social media. And watch our show, Steph and Cat Talk WoW, every Wednesday live. Thank you, Keita.
Thank you.